All right. Good evening. Welcome to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I'm your host, the romantic funny man, Shawn Cornelius, sitting in for another episode of After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Got a really fantastic show. You know how I say before we get it going. Always say we got a fantastic show, right? It's cool. But before I get started, I always got to say hello to my right and my left hand team there, down there in behind the scenes, doing their job well. DDC, Denise the Giorgio Cooney, program director and producer extraordinaire, Smoke, Tariq Muskim. And you guys, hopefully, you're ready to do this tonight's guest. Got a fantastic guest, but before I get into that, I want to say hello to everybody and let you guys know that are watching out there in TV land that we do stream live. We are live now on social media, so I want to say what's good to everyone over on my Facebook pages and my YouTube page, Shawn Cornelius Entertainer. And I want to thank BronxNet for housing us, channel 68 and channel 2134, and DH1 TV as well as Spotify for the podcast. So tonight's guest has a multitude of talents. I've known this gentleman for quite some time, and we have performed together on several platforms. We actually did a web series episode together. He was so humbled and such a generous person. He actually pulled me in, matter of fact, on a Black History Month show, I believe that's what it was, to perform with him and the legendary Melba Moore. And he's just been a supporter, and we've been a supporter of each other throughout the years. He's an author, and he's a talented actor. He's a motivation. I call him a motivational speaker, but he does so much, and he's just a fun-loving dude, great personality. And I'm glad that he's on the show tonight. So it's about 2.5 minutes after the intro. So it's time to bring my guest to the platform, to the studio, because he's back there waiting. Please welcome Ronald Haynie. Yeah, brother. Yeah. you provided and brought your own audience claps. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, man. Thank you. First of all, thank you for being here, bro.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, Shawn Cornelius.
Yeah. Well, listen, we talked about getting you on the show about a month or so ago. We had to get the schedules right. At the end of the year, I spoke to you, and you were just like, "Yeah, let's do it." So here we are, author, actor, orator.
Here we are.
So listen, man. First of all, again, I didn't mention it but we'll get to it. But I want the people to know about you first before we get into anything. So please tell the people, where you're from, and then we'll get into and how long you've been in the industry, and then we'll get into some things.
Well, hey everybody, good night to you. Okay, thank you very much, After Dark, for having me. I'm Ronald Haynie, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I am author, actor already. I'm born and raised in New York City, originally born in Brooklyn, of Harlem parents. And I'm currently in the Bronx right now, but straight New York. I've lived in every borough. I guess Staten Island may be the last that I would stay out there consistently. Yeah, and I've been in the business now professionally since 1990. It's safe to say since 1994, when I was blessed with the opportunity to be a part of the Black Filmmaker Foundation at that time. And I studied under the tutelage of the great living legendary playwright, Richard Wesley. He also penned the classic films of Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again. He also did Mandela and Leclerc for HBO as well, and he's a very fantastic brother. So since I've been if you want to say professional for as an adult, I would say around circa 1994, where in emotional reality it started in the mid 70s, I'll say, and I got the opportunity to be a background actor on the serial is not around anymore, the soap opera The Guiding Light. Mm-hmm. And blessed to be brought into CBS television at that time in the late 70s by the late Michael Zaslow. He in daytime TV history. He is the #1 villain on record. He portrayed the character Roger Thorpe back then on The Guiding Light. And he also portrayed David Ronaldi on One Life to Live subsequently and for ABC TV later on. But he brought me into what was the first initial push, like that. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. And you definitely have all those things because I met you through the acting thing, but I also obviously there's several things that we're going to get to. So let's jump right into it because I don't like to waste time on anything. First of all, want to pay homage and say prayers and condolences to Mary Wilson, the great Supreme.
Woo!
To her family and friends. We lost her. By the time this show airs, it might be some time, but we all know we lost another icon. And you had a connection to that, Ron, because you actually played Berry Gordy. Tell us about that project where you played Berry Gordy.
I would love to tell you about that project. Okay, Shawn, Embody is the project that you are talking about. And now, 10 years ago, I put together an improv idea. I put together this improv idea and it worked. It was a 6-character, 1-man show that I did on the sixth character was the guy that was telling the story, of course, whereas the other 5 men, they were all leaders, if you will. 4 of them are not with us anymore. That would be Medgar Evers, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King. And the one who is with us, is Berry Gordy Jr. Well, Berry Gordy, he is a junior, but that's a long story. He's been Berry Gordy.
Right.
Long time.
Yeah.
And so that improv idea worked, and I'm looking forward to revamping and enhancing what that is for the future,
Yeah, and so because what I saw and recall, you had young ladies in who were portraying the Supremes.
Okay, what you saw, with all due respect, Shawn, you saw still shots of the open mic show that that was very successful that I did in Harlem from 2006 to 2011, and then we had a reunion like in 2014. Well, for Women's History Month one year, I did a dedication to Diana Ross because it fell on her birthday, March the 26th.
Okay.
And the show on we were returning for that year, and then I ran from March all the way through October at the time, and so it fell on her birthday, and I put on some Supreme skits, and so that's one thing. And then Embody was a whole nother thing, which came much later in 2011. However, about Mary Wilson, it's funny because the last time that I saw Mary Wilson physically and spoke with her was the last time that the first and the last time I've ever seen Cicely Tyson in a performance. It was during the Gin Game on Broadway, which is, starred with the great James Earl Jones. Cicely and James Earl Jones did that. And, what's crazy to me is how these two icons, the Almighty called them home a week apart. How I saw them both at the same time, thanks to a wonderful friend of mine from NBC. And we actually went to high school together. And we went to she said, well, come on, Ronnie, I'm going to see the Gin Game. You want to come? I said, well, I went. And Mary was there. I was 2 hours behind her. I spoke with her about a mutual a friend of hers who was a surrogate uncle to me in Cincinnati, and we talked there. It was brief. I was after the show, and me and my friend went our way, and her friend went theirs, we were all filling out the theater, and so now fast forward into today, it's of course it's painful, but growing is painful as well. We are. Tomorrow just isn't promised, and we have to maximize our happiness on a day-to-day, second to second. And I feel like Mary has being called home for Mary Wilson is something. Is a direct shot to me from the Almighty saying, "Look, you know the what's up. You already know what's up. I have had Mary Wilson. I don't own these right. Don't throw our love away.
Yeah, you can only do like 3 seconds of that before you get us in trouble. So you do.
Ooh, baby. The Supremes, man, like, come on. And then the thing about Mary, she's the alpha and omega of the group. She's the original primate from 1959, and she went all the way up to 1977. There was actually 8 or 9 or even more Supremes, just like the Temptations, and during the entire tenure of the group from the very beginning. I humbly ask everyone around the world to pray for not only Mary Wilson's family, but to pray for families of Florence Ballard Chapman, as well as Diana Ross, because now Diana Ross, in all actuality, she has outlived her original primates, from Betty McGlone to Barbara Martin to Florence and Mary now. So it's like that. I was in a funk. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak about that, Shawn.
No, man. Listen, that's what this platform is for.
Yes.
And like you mentioned, we lost another icon, Cicely Tyson, not too long ago. So you pay homage to culturally, you pay homage to a lot of our heroes, whether they're male or female. You do a great job. And again, this will air at a later date, but we're in the middle of Black History Month. and every time I see you, it doesn't have to be Black History Month for you to pay homage to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
It's a Dr. King kind of thing, eh?
So now, when did you start doing that, Ron? When did you start saying, you know what, I'm going to make this happen?
That happened in 2009. For me to memorize the I Have a Dream speech by memory was doing that helped to preserve my life. At the time, I was undomiciled in my own hometown. Oh, sure. So, like, we're all, New York, full of culture, still trying to maintain that post-pandemic, during. And so there's a lot of poetry going on, a lot of music. New York is what it is. So I was involved in poetry circles. Again, I ran my own poetry show and talent show for grown folks. And so with all that being said, around 2009, there's a friend of mine, a great guy in the Harlem community still, Paul McIntosh, it's safe to say his name, a great brother, a educator, a librarian. He was at the Watley Secondary School, not Watley, Performing Arts High. I remember when Watley was a junior high. And anyway, Paul McIntosh had asked me if I could do Dr. King for the students one year. And that when I was still doing it off the paper. Prior to that, I did it in New Jersey for a lovely lady that I was with at that time, for her pastor. Okay. Anyway, right. So fast forward a little bit. I started doing it in the poetry circles at first. I had decided to commit it to memory because I was amazed at how much it was in the speech. I had grown up just thinking that Dr. King had said, I have a dream, that the whole I have a dream part, which turned out to be his actual, after Mahalia, may bless in peace, Mahalia coached him on stage, and he did the I have a dream part. That was all really him. But there was another part of the speech prior to that I really never knew about. I thought the computer had made a mistake when I printed it up in the library with Mr. McIntosh. Right. And I was like, man, Dr. King said all of that for that speech. And the next thing you know, Shawn, I said I was going to commit that to memory. I felt like it would give me another, it would even another degree of something. Like it meant more to me to know that he said so much more during that iconic Poor People's March on Washington back then. And I was amazed at how much we did not know that he said those type of some things that go on in that speech. And I said I would learn the whole thing.
Right now, my my full of information producer Smoke popped some things up, and you did it. You did it in Spanish as well. Well, first, wait before you answer that. Before you come back with that, I want to say what's going on to Cotton Candy and Dee and Nancy and Lisa and Arthur and Michelle who are watching and supporting the show. So
shout
now,
out to the Air Out Show.
yes, sir. And
Cotton Candy and Pink Panther, sure.
Spanish.
Yeah, I do it in Spanish. Yes, absolutely, and not be Spanish. Shawn Cornelius, that was a whole nother beautiful. Can monsters be beautiful? People often ask me how long did it take you to learn the speech. I tell them 9 days. It did in English, and it took me like 9 months to learn it in Spanish like that, like it was a baby. You know what I mean? Is it Spanish the only other language? So it's bilingual or try or 4 times 5. Is that the English and Spanish? That's it. I guess I could say for now. I ran into a great brother of mine in the Harlem community, Javon. If you're out there, I ran into him at NAMA. Support the New Amsterdam Musical Association. I did the speech there. On King's birthday weekend. That was right. It's been a lot going on To God Be All the Glory. Anyway, so what happens is, I told Javon, I was like, oh, because he's Haitian, and I said, oh, he was supposed to teach me how to do it in Creole. And you told me that, Ronnie, that it would be over if I learned King. You know it in Spanish, it is good, Ronnie, but when you learn it in Creole, it is over. You did not tell me. Javon, that's what I tell him.
All right, cool.
Comfortable on this show. I'm supposed to be Regal Ron here, but we're all mourning these rapid transitions, but we find ways to carry these batons that our ancestors give us when they're called home. Like, we find ways to do that. So thank you very much.
Sure, anytime, man. Listen, all right. So I want to make time because you are an author. Tell them about the book.
The book.
Yeah, tell them about the book, Duppy. Tell them about what it's about, and just go into how you wrote the book, man. Okay. And why.
Be transparent. Duppy came out of a failed suicide attempt. I'm not proud of that. It looks even worse when you see it in black and white on paperwork. So anyway, like I said, what I just said, I don't want to repeat that because it's weird to talk about, because I know that if the Almighty decided to be, oh, you want to be smart and just, well, I wouldn't be here with you. I wouldn't have been able to say, hey, Cotton Candy, or hold this. So
right.
Anyway, so many images of the third, around 1994, because Duppy, You Reap What You Sow was always a novel. And I started writing the book, and simultaneously, I had joined the Black Filmmaker Foundation at the time, and that's how I met the great Richard Wesley. So I began writing the novel and the screenplay version, because I was screenwriting with him. And I wound up writing the novel and the screenplay simultaneously at the same time. And of course, the great Terry McMillan, living legend, she is very hot at that time. She had published Mama years before that and Disappearing Acts, but Waiting to Exhale, I had the novel and I'd read that. And then the movie had came out. And I was like, well, that was my big inspiration at that time. And so I wrote the book and the screenplay at the same time. And I always wanted to dedicate it to my grandfather, who had passed away prior to that unfortunate attempt that, to God be all the glory, it didn't work. And I'm sitting here on this interview.
Right.
So... right. So that was around 1995 is when when the story was finished, and I was already just in touch with Mr. Wesley at that time, and I subsequently became a member of Frederick Douglass Creative Arts Center on 96th Street, and that led to being a part of the New Renaissance Writers Guild, where some of Terry's comrades were in that writers group. They were a division of the late great John Oliver Killen's Harlem Writers Guild from way back. They were kids, many of them then, and they were a little older than me, and they semi-embraced me as I was really trying to get this book off the ground. It took a long time. I was literary agents did begin to give me bites along the way while other things was going on with the screenplay, such as meeting the great David Wright in the community, the #1 sound designer in the off-Broadway community, Adolfo award-winning David Wright, who was doing radio dramas via WPAI at that time. And he and I won an award for the piece, the broadcast, because he ran that broadcast twice in 1996. We even got at that time, because now it's pretty much a free for all, but we had trouble from the FCC because there was some language that was used. The novel Duppy, the piece is about elderly abuse, intercultural racism, and of course, Caribbean supernatural folklore. No, I am not Caribbean. My granddad did mention some Guyanese stuff going on, like I do eat cow heel soup, but he was so far removed. I'm gonna have to do the thing, the thing everyone's looking up their ancestry now.
Yeah,
the real deal. But I was adamant about us all benefiting from each other's culture at that time, and we unfortunately sometimes we deal with interculturally, we are racist towards each other, and I don't really hear that in other cultures. Like it's rare that you ever hear an Irishman say to an English, well, we're Irish. Well, maybe they did back in the day, what we don't know about. But it was painful to, when West Indian blacks and American blacks didn't get along around me, and that came out in the book, so to speak.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So I published eventually, because I just didn't want to give up on the work. I was adamant about doing something dedicated to my grandparents, because my grandmother died subsequently, and then the senior citizens that supported the family at that time, they all started to pass away. And then, so I got this big old list in the book of dedications to people, and this big old forward acknowledgments, and because I always said that no matter who had a kind word or maybe a negative word, whoever had something to say along the journey, I was going to, once I did become published, I was going to shout them out in the book. It's amazing that I did that. And so it's a journey, Shawn.
Well, let me stop you real quick and take you back to something that you said that I'm not familiar with, being of our culture. But cow what soup?
Cow. I said cow heel soup.
Cow heel
soup. Yeah, cow heel soup. But then mostly you hear cow foot soup. That's the main term that you normally hear. But my grandfather called it cow heel soup.
Okay.
Some Guyanese I talked to, they you know about cow heel,
Ron, wait, because you said you make this. Do you make it or you get it from somewhere?
I would, but it can. Yeah, I can make it.
Okay, so is it actual real cow heels?
Like cow foot.
Like cow foot. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like some of us we get, how it is. Like we should focus on a lot of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, no, I get it, man.
Historically, we know what happened.
But I was gonna be. That's kind of like pig knuckles and all that other kind of stuff, man.
Well, man, I got a joke for you. Anytime somebody say, "Oh, look, Ronnie, do you eat chitlins?" I say, "Well, you know what a chitlin spot at? I'm saying whatever."
Yeah, that's correct. Never.
Listen, man, I just won't eat it all year. I ain't gonna send my pressure through the roof.
Yeah, well, I won't. Listen, let me ask you a question, man, because you said obviously we have people watching the show, and I want you to, you've obviously come through your situation that caused you to write the book. Man, I need you. Obviously, there are valuable things. Sometimes when people go through those things and they don't see any light, and this is why they want to put themselves in total darkness and check out. But
Yes.
you've able to live through your scenario. Please give some advice to those out there who might be struggling,
When
man.
it's how dark, when it
You
gets
were in a
that
dark
dark,
spot. Yeah, so please tell
when
them.
it gets that dark.
So give some advice.
What I need to say is that when you hear of people committing suicide and attempting suicide, these people are at the darkest moment in their entire life, where they insist that for whatever reason they don't belong anymore. You're at your darkest moment where you want to meet the maker. You just got to do it. And so anyway, what kind of encourage? I can only speak about what happened to me. And
Sure.
when I see, there came to a point where it just didn't happen, and there you had voices that were like, no. I thought about one of my sisters crying. There was this one sister I have, because I have 3 sisters actually, and I thought about one of them. There's one in particular crying and carrying on about what could have possibly happened, and it didn't happen the way I was trying to do it. And I was like, wow, you're at your lowest point when you hear of these things. So my encouragement to people who are feeling that dark is, it's something that you will have to go through. You want to hope that it doesn't happen. Ultimately, if there's some way that you can stop and think, there's a chance that you'll be better off, because it's the Creator that gives us the life. Who are we to take what the Creator has given us? You feel me? Like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Totally, man. Totally. Thank you for that, brother. Because again, we don't know who we don't know who we can touch with our stories, or who's watching just behind the scenes, and something you say may enlighten or flip that switch back for someone. And again, my message for people is to let you know, regardless of what you feel, you are loved. You are loved. You may not feel it in that moment, but you know you are loved. And a lot of people, because of their scenarios, that's one thing, they feel alone, you know, and they feel like they're out there struggling by themselves, and there's no support system. But my message is, you're loved. You know what I'm saying? I love you. You know, so hopefully that matters. You know what I mean? So Ron, I usually take a break around this time in about 2 minutes, but I want you to talk about, in about 2 minutes or less, your relationship with another legend that I got to meet years ago, but personally met when you were so gracious to bring me on a Black History Month show, the legendary Melba Moore.
Absolutely.
You have a great relationship with Melba Moore. Talk about that in about 2 minutes.
Sure. I'd love to.
Yeah, now you can do it now for 2 minutes.
Okay. I thought we was going to commercial.
No, I'm gonna do the break after. I want to get this in first. I want to talk about Miss Melba.
Sure. Oh my goodness, the Melba Moore. I feel like the Creator, the ancestors, the angels that protect me, sent me Tony Award winning, Grammy nominated, Lifetime Achievement receiving Melba Moore, the Queen of Broadway Soul. You may be known, she's the Queen of Broadway Soul.
Yes.
I met Melba Moore I had the great opportunity as a fantastic promoter out there, Michael Mr. Excitement Jacobs, who brought many acts to my neighborhood, to Lehman College in the Bronx. There was First Choice was there, the great Ursula Herring, out of that group. First Choice, D-Train, you name it. Music that means so much to us on the come up. And Melba Moore was part of the bill. And in the novel, I wrote a scene in which, I'll do the realistic fiction where she and Freddie, Freddie was doing a little bit more. And her hit on Soul Train, an actual occurrence. And so I wanted her to have a novel. I wanted her to have a book. And I wound up meeting her there. And that led to one night I had an idea. I was wondering if I could work with Melba Moore. I wonder if she would sing with me, if I could do a King and we could do an event together. And one thing led to another, and the Almighty made that happen. You know, I learned a lot from that show. I was so glad that you were a part of that show. You know, it's that show was indeed a lot, and I'm most grateful for the interaction that she continues with me and many of her fans from around the world via social media. I think that it's fantastic that she has always known a way to connect with her fans from her very, listen, man, Melba Moore, a lot of people don't understand the power of who she is. Melba Moore opened doors for Stephanie Mills, Jennifer Holliday, and Andrea McCardle, because Melba Moore she got the Tony Award for Pearlie in 1970 for an actress in a musical category. It was the very first time that was ever done in Broadway history, period, at that time. And prior to that, she was a part of the original cast of Hair. She was the first Black actress to replace a white actress, Diane Keaton. She replaced Diane Keaton on Broadway. You know, I guess it was last minute. I have to double check that with her. I'll play with that score, but I'll have to double check that with her. But to my knowledge, that, you know, where she replaced her and the show took off. You know, Hair is what it is, historical on Broadway. Melba Moore was part of that cast, but that Pearlie and her show-stopping I Got Love got that Tony Award in a musical category, and had never been done before. So that way she opened doors for Stephanie Mills, for The Wiz, and of course Jennifer Holliday. And I'm telling you, and I'm not going.
Right, man. Listen, I just wanted to make sure when we had to talk about her. That's a part of your legacy.
Yes.
And I'm very appreciative of you, man. So I thank you so much. Yeah. So listen, man, we're going to take a break right about here. Okay. We're going to come back and put you in the love zone. I know you've been posting. You've been posting on Facebook and social media about being so nervous.
Love zone. I should think I often cry my eyes on Mary Wilson. I can just see these little bee eyes.
Well, listen, you better pray to you better pray to the gods. You got about a minute and a half to pray to the love gods, but you'll be fine, man. You'll be fine. So just stay right there. We'll be back with more. My guest, Ronald Haynie, on After Dark with Shawn Cornelius in about 2 minutes.
Hey, it's Bethany Brown. I played Null, or Janet Petty, in The Flash. Shawn Cornelius, your new movement, Enough is Enough? Phenomenal, man. Everybody let your voice be heard and go support Shawn's campaign, Enough is Enough. It's time. Bye. As I walk through
my Hi, I'm Sheba Jordan. I wanted to make this video to show support to and congratulate my good friend Shawn Cornelius and his Enough is Enough movement. Shawn, you hit the mark with this one. With all the madness happening, particularly in this country today, I think the whole world agrees with you. Your message is appropriate, it is accurate, it is true. Enough is enough. Keep going, good brother. I'm so proud of you. I congratulate you. I support you.
Hey, this is Anita Marie Sparrow, and you're watching After Dark with Shawn Cornelius.
All right. We are back. Welcome back to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I'm your host, the romantic funny man, Shawn Cornelius, and still sitting in with me, author, actor, orator, Ronald Haynie. We're gonna turn him into a lover. So
only one I love is Melba Moore.
Well, then you better use Melba's energy and spirit to get through this segment right here.
I just want to shout out www.glamfind.com, who produced this fantastic hoodie with Melba's image on it.
That's beautiful.
During that time, Melba's forevermore, literally, All right. Shout out to Wayne Ellison at www.glamfind.com. And you'll be surprised on what the brother puts together with his own hands, from fantastic hoodies like this. Listen, you should shop his website, and it's a variety of things, from hoodies to masks to other merchandise to furs.
Cool. All right, now I need some of that energy that you just gave that brother.
All right.
I need some of that energy to get this thing going. So I need you to summon all your powers right now and say abracadabra for me.
Abracadabra.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Look at it. We are now in the love zone off of your power, your energy. All right, brother Ron. Here we go now. These are this is nothing difficult. Almost 70 other people have made it through the show in this segment, so I'm sure you'll be inside of that group, all right?
Sure.
These are all your opinions. All right, here we go. Let's start it off. First question. What is your definition of love, and why is it important to you?
My definition of love is, well, I'm going to speak on why it's important to me. Love is important to me because you have to develop that love to get the conjunction with the Creator as to why we are here in the first place. Love is life. Love is essential. Love is the skies, the birds. Love is the flowers. Love is water. Love is the elements. Love is love. Love. You need that conjunction with the Almighty.
Okay, I'll take that one. You answered it. Okay, so let's jump into this one. What is your definition of romance, and why is that important to you?
My definition of romance is being cognizant of your better half's needs, as much as you can possibly can, to a point where you can agree to disagree, because you're opposite sexes. And so, with that being said, we're opposite sexes, so agree to disagree. However, there's no way in the world that anyone should go to bed mad, and you should be romantic at all times. You take the time to get to know someone, so that way you know what keeps her thinking about you with every step she takes. And to me, that's what romance is, when either of you can do that, where if somebody coming to you with the okie doke and be like, listen, you can be like, I hear you, Ma. I hear you, Ma. I hear you, Ma, but I got something hot at home too. You know what I mean? But romance is very important to me. You got to have fun with this. Like, you see all these checkouts, these disappearing acts going on around you. So you need to be in romance and be in love all the time as much as possible.
All right, and saying that, very good answer, brother. Where would you put yourself on the romance scale from 1 to 10?
I will put myself on the romance scale from 1 to 10. I know I would definitely put myself at an 8 to begin with.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. And saying that, which is cool, an 8 is good. Tell us something that you've done that would make you say, yeah, I'm an 8. Give us an example of Ron Haynie's 8 style.
In romance. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I love to give flowers. I love giving flowers. As a matter of fact, like, okay, for example, boo, I'm single right now, but I still know.
Wait a minute. Are you pitching for a date on this show right now?
You know what I'm saying? I'm hanging with the funny comedian.
Well, yeah, all right. I got you, brother. I hope it works for you.
Romance type of dude, you know what I mean? So, I'm trying to learn, bro.
All right. So an 8, giving flowers is good. Yeah. And what else?
Yeah, I really like to do that. I'm going to send out flowers for Valentine's Day anyway. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, well, I won't even bother that, because I don't want to get you in no deep hole, because you say you're going to send out flowers, and there's women out there who are single as well. They be like, I want some flowers, Ron. No, so anyway, we'll get past that.
Ronnie be like, yo, I had when I was doing the open mic show, the host of, of course, why is it in life we always have a boss? But anyway, and they're usually women. It's nuts. But anyway, the woman who put me on to do the show, she said, Ron, you make it look easy. And I have to agree with that last 10 years, but it's okay. Man, listen.
All right, we'll move past that. I got your answers. All right. So next one, Ron.
Yes.
If you could have dinner, and I've learned to kind of be flexible with this question. If you could have a romantic dinner with anyone, past, present, or future, who would it be? But I'm going to let you answer it if you could have dinner with anyone, past, present, or future. See, we're in the love zone, so you got to answer romantic first, and then you can tell me someone that you would want to have dinner with, past, present, or future.
Right now, it's going to be Mary Wilson.
Okay.
Right now, it's going to be Mary Wilson.
Okay.
Donna is Miss Mary Wilson, but yeah, right now would be Mary Wilson. Absolutely.
Beautiful. All right. Ron, you know that in relationships, in love and romance, to have a successful relationship, you must have respect, honesty, and trust.
Absolutely. It's like it's respect, honesty, and trust. Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
That is as essential as air in a relationship, as well as communication.
All right. So tonight, because you have to have respect, honesty, and trust, you get to take one of those away and still have a successful relationship. Which one are you going to get rid of out of respect, honesty, and trust?
In order to have a successful relationship, I have to get rid of. Wait, what are you talking about, Shawn? One more time.
You got it,
Gary Coleman.
You have respect, honesty, and trust.
Respect,
honesty,
and trust, and one of them has to go away
for this show.
Successful?
No. You can still have a successful relationship by taking one of those out tonight. Only for the show. Which one are you going to get rid of?
Yeah. Only for the show. Trust, honesty,
and respect.
Trust, honesty, and respect. I'll do the trust, honesty, and respect. I'll do the honesty.
Okay.
Now for the show, Shawn, how dare you make me do that? But for the show, my dude, my Gina,
all right, you'll take honesty. All right, let's move. We can move past it. That's cool.
For honesty, bro, because you know how it is. Like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? We throw the
show. I gotta stay neutral. Listen,
yo, man, you know that weave is alright. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just. I stay out of your answer.
What my baby doing?
I stay out of your answer, brother. That's on you. Don't bring me into this scenario.
Okay.
That's all right.
I know. They ain't gonna chop your head. They're gonna want to chop mine.
Yeah. Hey, so Ron, check this out.
Yeah.
When you're in a relationship, what is the one thing that makes you the happiest when you're involved with someone? What's the one thing out of relationships that really just makes you go, wow, I'm glad I'm in this?
I really love when the female, she has taken the time to listen, to have listened to you. Like, even if you're a chatterbox due to nerves sometimes, which I've been accused of being, but that could be a style of behavior coming from the man, because you do that just to protect his heart. Because, when you get down and gritty and grimy with someone that you should be having feelings for, you should be playing for keeps. So I like when the sister happens to really know what is making you tick, and she can be of that small percentage of that still cares about men, because there's a small percentage of women out there that really do care about how men feel,
right.
And and unfortunately, because brother, we're outnumbered by some cats that just have really did them some kind of way from historically for many years. Shawn, we're not taught how to do them. All right. Mm-hmm. So because of that, we are a small percentage as well. So I like it when the Almighty fixes it, where I come across someone who has taken the time to know me. She has listened,
mm-hmm.
And she is looked at the fact that I am the different man than the last man that she's had. And I'm required to do the same thing for her as well. Sure, absolutely.
Right, right.
That takes time. Communication. I love great communication. Because truth be told, if I get a great communicator, I'll shut up. I'll just be like, all right. And she'd be like, well, what you say? I was like, that's my stomach, baby. What's good?
Got you, bro. Like got you. Yeah, all right. Before I do the next one, really quickly, want to say what's up to Carla. Hello to Sharon, Jessica, and Anita that have popped in, and Sal. Hey, listen, man, next one. Give me 3 things that are attractive to you about women. 3 things that are attractive to you about women.
Oh, my goodness, her intelligence. 3 things. Her intelligence and her humor first. Then we'll get into looks. We'll get into looks. That's the third one. But that intelligence and that humor. Okay. I love to laugh. I'd rather do the laughing than to be trying to make somebody laugh. And then, that third one would be looks. Sure, because you want to have someone that you can look at and you want to match their looks at least.
Yeah, physically attractive. Sure.
Absolutely. And then, but first is that intelligence. It's not... Shawn, ain't nothing like learning from somebody. You be like, what, Ma? You know that?
Right.
I know. Anyway, I'm saying, it's nothing like a woman's intelligence.
Right. Very attractive. Mental. Yes. Woo. All right. So let's go to the other side. 3 things that just turn you off about women in general. Just turn you off about them. That are not attractive. Yes, not attractive.
Okay. What's not attractive about women to me? That comparison of you to other men, that's not attractive. That being subversive in terms of I don't like when women pretend to really like each other. I think that it's important when she opens her mouth to speak that she should you should know that she cares about humanity to the best way that she can, because women have been persecuted against for so long, and now I'm saying they're getting their just due for real. So with that being said, man, there would be no need for, I guess you would have to just. I don't want to go over the place with this. I'm really a deal breaker is a lying woman, a troublesome woman. You see her, you know that she's a not nice person. When people show you who they are, you've got to believe them. Like Maya said, they bring you their personality on a platter if you listen to them the first time. Check them out.
Sure. All right, good ones. Take a second, a minute on each one. Give the young women out there, because our younger generation needs a little bit of help and mentor. Give the young women advice on dating men today, and then take a minute on young men dating women, if you have advice for both genders.
Sure, I love to. I always want to do the best that I can to project a great image for young people, the best that I can, without, So I'll start with advice for young women and about dating men. I would say the best that you can to try to get to know where his mind is. And I think his environmental factors are very important. And what I mean by environmental factors, like, some of you young ladies, oh, he's so cute. Oh, he got a body or whatever. There is more to that man than that. And the quickest, I would say, be open to sound advice from women who have been married, women who have been in relationships and stuff like that, but still have your own mind with dealing with the opposite sex, the boy. Again, his environmental factors are really, really key. And I want to say for the for young guys that's dealing with girls. Wow, that's I mean, now I'm thinking about what I see a lot now in the society.
Yeah, well, go ahead and give it to him. Yeah, man.
Oh, because it's so, I'm so happy to hear when young boys want to date young girls that I love to give advice on what that is. Because that can be so innocent when you are courting, when you're a young dude and everything. This would be coming from if I had to do all over again. I would say be open to listening who she is without, because I'm a firm believer that we as men are not really taught properly how to deal with women in a lot of cases sometimes, again, based on our environmental factors. So,
right. Sure.
Patience for either young people, for either sex, patience and communication is key. Now, that don't come with no handbook either.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. Cool. All right, Ron, check this out. Let's jump into the last segment of this part of the show, which is something that I like to call favorites. And see, I got power too. All I got to do is say it and it pops up on the screen. I got a little bit of something going on. so basically what I'm going to do, man, I'm just going to throw out some categories and you tell me your favorite. That's it.
Sure.
One, short and fast. All right, here we go. Favorite, and don't say heel or whatever. Favorite food. Favorite food.
Spare ribs.
You're a meat lover. Okay, spare ribs. Got you. Favorite song of all time.
Are you really going there?
Yes, sir.
If there's a cure for this, I don't want.
Okay, only 3 seconds. Only 3 seconds. Remember.
Love Hangover Diana, bro.
Got you. Okay. Favorite. Well, I might be able to guess this one too, but no, I may not be. Favorite movie of all time.
Lady Sings the Blues.
I was gonna say it, Diana Ross.
Williams.
Yep. Okay, there you go. All right, cool. Favorite book you've ever read?
I'm going here. I'm gonna go here, bro.
Go with it, brother.
I'm taking off the shades for the other lights, flashing lights. My favorite book of all time is Louise M. Fitzhugh's Harriet the Spy.
Okay. All right, cool.
I read it in 1979.
It's cool.
Maybe 78, something like that.
All right, you've traveled a little bit, correct? You've traveled a little bit.
Sure, I'm an ex-serviceman, sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So where's your favorite spot? Your favorite vacation spot?
Mm-hmm. My favorite vacation spot. Boo, I don't have one.
Well, listen, I don't let people.
Right. It'll be her. Wherever she want to go, I'll go.
Okay, but I can't. All right, I'm gonna take
all
that.
Right, but you know what? If I could throw something out there.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Throw something out there, bro.
Go ahead. It's all you.
I can throw something out there. I want to vacation with a very special someone. I want to go to Paris. I do, because Paris is historically that spot for love, romance.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying, and I want to go to those spots. I've never been to Paris.
All right,
so
I know.
Say Paris for now. Wow. Yeah, I've traveled, but like the spots I've traveled to, you don't want to vacation there.
Well, no, that's why I said your favorite vacation. I didn't say where you went to in the military. See, I see what you're doing too, Ron. You think you're slick. I see you pitching for Valentine's Day, talking about Paris and all these. With my woman, I get with. I didn't mean to blow your spot up, but you did.
I learned from you, man.
All right, brother. Okay. Your favorite director. Favorite director.
My favorite director of all time. Ooh, I love these questions, Shawn. You got it, man. You got.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You picking Ron brain like what? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna keep it easy. Like keep it keep it simple, stupid. And lady, Look, man, it is what it is, and people already know what's up. If Lady Sings the Blues is my favorite film of all time,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that Berry Gordy is my favorite director of all
Okay.
time. Sure.
Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm creating these for you. These aren't the ones that are in the favorites as a regular, but since you're here, favorite author.
I ain't gonna say Ronald Haynie now. That's too vain.
If you feel like Ronald Haynie's at the top of your list, put him down. But
Ronald Haynie is my favorite author right now.
Okay. All right, here we go. Favorite actor.
Do I go? Ronald Haynie is my favorite actor right now.
If that's what it is. That's what it is.
You already know what it is, my G.
But okay, so you can't. I hope you you don't have that same answer for this one. Favorite actress.
Touche, no doubt, brother. If I was, well, God rest him. If I was Flip Wilson, I was Geraldine. What you see is what you get. Sinead and them cats, man.
They came from that, exactly. So who's your favorite actress?
My favorite actress. Okay, my favorite actress of all time. My favorite actress of all time. You know, and I'm not saying it's just because she just passed. Is Cicely Tyson. And I real quick because my favorite role that I've ever seen Cicely Tyson was when she was Rose. Her name was Rose, and of course she was always a great opposite with Paul Winfield. And when they did Coretta and King, that was one thing. But I loved A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich, based on the book by Alice Childress. Okay, and cool. She played Larry B. Scott's mother. He was on dope. He was a teenager on dope. And Butler was Paul Winfield's character, the stepfather. And Cicely Tyson was the mother to Larry Scott in A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich.
Got you.
I loved her, you know.
All right, cool. Favorite TV show? Then I got one more for you.
My favorite TV show of all time?
Yes, sir.
So many. Are you aware that I'm a Libra, man? I can't make up my mind like that.
Well,
man.
that's what. Hey, listen, I'm a Leo, and I have to be forceful. And
I
lead.
know, bro. I know. Y'all know how y'all do. Your big brothers, y'all be like, we gotta like start scrapping that. All right, dude. If I told you my favorite show of all time, man, you gonna be like, okay, Ron, and I'm be like, yeah. Well, I'm not even on TV no more.
Okay, what is it?
Go there. All my children. Yeah, all my children, brother.
Hey man, I got you. I'm with you. If you're a soapy, you're a soapy.
I'm not a soapy.
Well, that's a soapy, brother. That's a soapy.
Yeah, that's a soap. But you know what happened? Already know the great Donnell Williams. He's running around out there. Jesse came in the picture.
Yes, exactly.
Jesse represented us at that time. Then my mom grew up on Erica. I think my mother, so my mother knew Erica when Erica was going to Pine Valley High School. So you could go up around there. But it actually, soap operas taught me how to write and act as a child, and that's how that led to me being on the Guiding Light in the first place. I used to read the soap opera digest to my mother. She was a nurse.
Okay, got you. All right, last one. Favorite time of the day for lovemaking in a 24-hour period. Favorite time of the day.
Yeah, I love to answer that, brother. The favorite time for lovemaking in the 24-hour period is around anywhere between. Of course, I say it's when you go to bed whenever you go to bed at night. So it depends on what time that is. So
wait a minute. I'm talking about you, man. Just give me a time. You said anytime you go to bed.
For me. All right. I was like, I'm gonna do the handbook on it now, right? Like, you just have
just give me a time, bro.
A great matching was. And it's a nice little matchup. A great time for that is 4:20 a.m.
Jesus Christ! I appreciate your answers, man. With that answer, you are now out of the love zone. And this interview is. Hey, Ron Haynie, thank you, brother. I love you so much.
I love you too, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? We gotta love each other so we can love others and love who we are. You feel
I
me?
got you, man. Yes, sir. So look, I want to take an opportunity to thank everybody that's watching on Facebook and YouTube, and also Bronxnet and DH1, and listening on the podcast on Spotify. And thank you so much for supporting. So as I always say in parting, please go with God in your heart. Have a peace of mind. Have a wonderful, wonderful tomorrow. And please continue to take care of yourselves during this pandemic and others. And hey, Ronald, Haynie, continue blessings, safety to you. And you guys, will catch you on the next episode of After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. So from Lula May and Cornelius's baby boy, God bless you. Good night. And I'll catch you around the corner.
Thank
Peace.
you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.